Hello, everybody. It is Taylor, Barb, and Jake, and we are coming to you today to discuss last week's Group B performances from The Masked Singer. As you see today, I am outside. It is beautiful today here in Kentucky. The other two are at their homes. I guess they decided to stay indoors, but it doesn't matter either way. I'm staying outside because my house is very loud because my younger family members are currently doing schoolwork. So that is why I'm outside, because it is the quietest place right now. Anyway, so last week, Group B, Crocodile, Baby Alien, Seahorse, Whatchamacallit, Serpent, and Gremlin took the stage to perform on The Masked Singer, and it was a pretty decent show. We saw some really, really good performances and one not-so-good performance that we'll get to, and we're also going to discuss the big reveal last week that shocked the nation. Not really, because they were talking about it before it even happened. Anyway, let's kick things off, starting with Crocodile. Back when this all started, we all thought that Crocodile was a woman. And turns out that Crocodile is actually a guy. Some of the clues we saw that he's happiest in water. He said he grew up in Hollywood. There was a fish and a pineapple, an Italian flag. People singing in a cocktail lounge. He said he was ready to make a wicked big splash. The person definitely could sing. They sang It's My Life by Bon Jovi, and a lot of people were thinking it was John Bon Jovi because they sounded very similar. I definitely think it's a boy bander. Ken guessed John Hamm, which I really don't get. Nicole guessed Nick Lachey. Robin guessed Donnie Wahlberg. When there in the beginning there, I thought maybe it could have been Howie D from Backstreet Boys. I also was going to Jeremy Jackson, who played David Hasselhoff's son on Baywatch, because there were some clues in there about having kind of a rough past. But it seems like after doing a lot more research, I know the grew up in Hollywood thing is throwing them off, but I'm pretty confident that it is actually Nick Carter from the Backstreet Boys, because he is 9% Italian. His family is very dysfunctional, including stuff going on with his brother Aaron, and then of course Leslie Carter dying a few years ago. But I definitely think it is Nick Carter.
I get a boy bander vibe too. Now I'm not sure which boy bander I'm leaning towards, but it's definitely giving me boy bander vibes. I think Nick Carter's a good guess. Think I actually think Nicole's guess is good. Nick Lachey's a good guess. I feel like I need more clues, but definitely getting a boy bander vibe.
Same here. Yeah, it's definitely a boy bander. So, but which boy bander? There's so many. But yeah, I think I'm like Jake. I need more clues.
Yeah, definitely more clues, but I'm gonna go ahead and stick with Nick Carter, and we'll see. Group B will be performing in a couple weeks again, and we'll be able to see, find out whether or not it is him. Now, up next, we had Baby Alien, who is the first puppet costume on the show, and a lot of people were thinking it was a ventriloquist like Terry Fator, Jeff Dunham, Darcy Lynn, somewhere along those lines. But definitely not a ventriloquist, because as we saw in the performance, they did not seem to really be able to sync the music with the movements on the puppet's face. But some of the clues we saw, the first clue we saw said he's been stuck in second gear for a while. There were a lot of Ferris Bueller references. He said he was the cream of the crop and was in a theater every week. And then something happened. He became lost in space. There was a parade. There were a bunch of roses. There was a Liberty Bell. Very, very, very good voice, I think. Not the best. Thank you. Not the best in the world, but definitely, I definitely think it is a singer. Jenny guessed Ralph Macchio, because there was a karate reference. Somebody doing karate in the clue package. Nicole guessed either Matt LeBlanc or David Schwimmer because of the Friends references they had, specifically the Stuck in Second Gear, which is from the Friends theme song. Ken guessed Freddie Prinze Jr. I thought that Ralph Macchio wasn't a bad guess, and I really didn't think about who it was. But then I was looking the day after the show, I was looking online, and there's a blog I go to all the time, which covers a lot of the shows I watch, and they brought up somebody that definitely does sound like. It definitely has their voice, and the clues definitely fit. And the person I'm talking about is American Idol season 1 runner-up Justin Guarini. The stuck in second gear is a reference, of course, him being runner-up to Kelly Clarkson. Theater stage every week, being cream of the crop. He competed on American Idol, competed in the live shows. America voted for him every week. And that's where we get that from. He did appear on the Tony Awards. He actually did backstage interviews. He's appeared in Broadway shows. And the Lost in Space, his career has not lived up to that of Kelly Clarkson. And that is why I definitely think it is Justin Guarini. And I think the voice matches too.
I'm gonna hop on the bandwagon with the judges because I actually think it's somebody from Friends because of the Friend references. I actually think Matt LeBlanc and or I think I said it right, Matt LeBlanc and David Schwimmer are both good guesses. I don't know if either of them can sing, but I think those are good guesses. So I'm gonna hop on the judges bandwagon for this one until I hear more clues. That is.
Right. Well, if it's from Friends, I think it's Matt LeBlanc because he was in Lost in Space, the movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
And but I also think it's Justin too.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of stuck in between the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I'm gonna need more clues or at least hear them again.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be either Justin or Matt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I really I think Baby Alien is one of my favorite costumes because it just seems so creative to do something like this, and I think they're definitely stepping it up this season, not only with the clues, but also with the costumes. Like we had the Baby Alien, which is a puppet. We have the Snow Owls, the first duo costume of the season or of the series, and also some of the other costumes I think are really cool. I think this is going to end up being a very good season. And from these first 2 weeks, I can't wait to see the last group of masks.
Me too.
Yeah, but it just seems like a lot of work to just like work the puppet, but then also sing at the same time. That seems like a lot of work on somebody.
Especially if you've never operated a puppet before. So anyway, moving on up next, one of the better costumes, Seahorse. She sang Only Girl in the World by Rihanna. She had a southern accent, felt trapped by securities. There was a rainbow bear, 2 dogs, and a duck at a tea party in the clue package. There was a tree, and then there was a pig with warts on it. We'll get to that in a second. Said that she hopes to get the chance to stop playing tug of war, and she's a dauntless diva. I felt like I've heard the voice before. She definitely has a good voice, not the best voice, but definitely sounds like a pop singer, a current pop singer. Jenny guessed Halsey, Nicole guessed Haley Steinfeld, and Robin guessed BB Rexa. I'm going between. There are 3 people I'm going between. The first one that I kind of thought of because I kind of heard a hint of her voice in the chorus was Kesha, who has had some issues in the past. Of course, there was the Dr. Luke sexual harassment scandal a few years ago, which definitely probably brought on some insecurities. And also with the Rainbow Bear, she is loved a lot by the gay community and is a pretty big LGBT rights activist. Also, there's Tori Kelly, who a lot of people say it's her voice, but I don't really know where any of the clues would fit in. But I did listen to a little bit of Tori Kelly singing, and it definitely does sound a little bit like her. And then I think the most popular guest I'm seeing online is Zoe Kravitz, who is the daughter of singer Lenny Kravitz. Now, the thing that really makes me that makes Zoe my top pick is in her clue package. The pig they had with warts is obviously a reference to Hogwarts, and Zoe, of course, was in the movie Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, which is part of the Harry Potter community, or part of the Harry Potter universe. And that's why right now I think my top guess is Zoe Kravitz.
I had those same three people in mind. Um, I could see Tori Kelly. I could see it being Tori Kelly. I did get Kesha vibes off of the Seahorse. I did. I did get Kesha vibes, and then Zoe Kravitz is a good guess too. But it could also be what's her name? Shailene Woodley. I think I said her name right. She was in Divergent as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she can sing, but that's another possibility.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard her sing before. But she is pretty young, and whoever it is, I know is very young. Especially a lot of young girls in Hollywood definitely suffer insecurities, especially with today's social media age. You see a lot of these girls going like seeing what people say on social media about them, and it causing them to have issues, self-esteem issues, drug issues, stuff like that. We've
Right.
seen with people like Demi Lovato and other people like that. So it's definitely a younger person, definitely somebody who's up and coming. I still don't 100% know who it is, but I'm sure that we'll figure it out eventually.
Yes.
I keep thinking she's Tori Kelly. I don't know why. I just get a feeling that it's her.
I can't. She's one of the ones I can't wait for the reveal. I can't wait for Sun. I can't wait for Giraffe. I definitely can't wait for Baby Alien because Barb and I are part of like the 5% that are that really think it's Justin Guarini. I can't wait for Snow Owls because I really know who it. I think I know who it is, and it'll just be awesome to see them.
And it's not Donnie and Marie.
No.
But also, like, well, for me, like, I know for a fact that, or just like me, I'm just saying, Sun and Seahorse are both definitely like front runners to win this. Like, if they don't go far, then I am going to be highly disappointed
I
because
think a lot of people
they're like two of the best singers I've heard.
I mean, part of me wants just the Sun to get unmasked just to prove the people wrong that are saying it isn't Leanne Rimes, just to prove them wrong. But on the other end, I really want Sun to go far. So
yeah,
that
seems like
my struggle watching the show all the time.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like, when somebody's really, really good, like Sun or like in seasons past, like Gladys Knight and stuff, people I think tend to not vote for them just to make sure that it's them.
Yeah.
And I think with the more people being able to vote, maybe the really good ones won't be out so quickly,
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm hoping that this will be a much tighter season, rather than the obvious choice, because I would like to see Leanne win, or again Jellyfish, but and stuff. So, but yeah, it's gonna be good.
Oh yeah. Up next, we had somebody I have no idea who it is. It just seems like this is happening more frequently and more frequently, that nobody knows who it is, and it really shows that they are really stepping up the clues. But whatchamacallit, saying "I Wish" by CeeLo Green. In his clue package, he shot out of a rainbow pool. People think he's shy, lets other people absorb the spotlight. He likes to dance with the stars, serve candy bars, buzz with the bees. He definitely can rap. Nicole guessed Swizz Beats. Ken guessed Dane Lillard. Robin guessed Tyler, the Creator. I really don't really can't get behind anything because there are a lot of rappers, especially current day rappers. I don't listen to much rap, so I really don't know who it could be. So I am really stumped on who the hell whatchamacallit is.
Right.
I'm stumped too. My first thought was maybe this is an athlete that isn't like a singer, maybe, I guess, because to me, whatchamacallit didn't actually sound like, to me, whatchamacallit didn't really sound like a professional singer. So I think it's somebody that's not a singer.
I definitely think it's whoever it is a really good rapper. I don't know.
Well, they always have to throw in an athlete somewhere in the mix. So whatchamacallit could be an athlete, and because you know there's at least one in the group. There has to be.
And then we still haven't figured out who the Olympic gold medalist is yet.
Right.
Yes, we still need to figure that out.
Up next was one. It was probably my favorite performance of the night. It was the Serpent. He's saying, "I'm gonna be" by the Proclaimers. In the clue package, we saw a map of the Caribbean. Talked about musicology and medicine. He said he was a troublemaker going down path of destruction. Didn't want to cause pain, but heal pain. He has a great voice. Jenny guessed John Legend, Ken guessed David Diggs, and Nicole guessed Leslie Odom Jr. Now, there are two people that really, between the clues, who I think it is, and one of them is Leslie Odom Jr. There was a nod to him being a junior because his dad in the package was Snake Sr. Also, the Caribbean reference due to Hamilton. And then also in the past, Leslie Odom Jr. has played a doctor. But there's another person that I think it is who I actually said when the preview special happened, we didn't know whether or not this person was we thought this person was a doctor or had played a doctor in the past because of the prescription clue. And we thought Neil Patrick Harris, Hugh Laurie, people like that. But then once I heard him sing, another person came into mind. Taye Diggs, he played a doctor on Private Practice. He was in Rent and actually got his start at Disneyland Tokyo in a show called Sebastian's Caribbean Carnival. And so that's why I'm sort of between the two. It's either Leslie Odom Jr. or Taye Diggs. I'm going to have to hear more clues to figure it out.
I definitely think it's Leslie Odom Jr. I thought I heard his voice, so that's what I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Leslie Odom Jr.
Me too. I just think it's Leslie Odom Jr. Maybe more clues may lead us into another direction, but right now I still think it's Leslie.
Yeah. And I think I'm leaning more towards that, but we'll have to find out in the next few weeks. And the last performer of the night was the Gremlin. Clue package was set up kind of like a dating video. Talked about things he liked and disliked. From some of the things about him, coming off tough but being a real softie, plus Fast and the Furious, I was wondering if it was maybe Vin Diesel coming on the show. But then I heard him sing, and I immediately thought, this is obviously an old legend who might have sang in the past, but doesn't have the same voice they used to. And I actually thought for a second that it was going to be Bob Dylan.
Isn't he dead?
No, Bob Dylan isn't dead. He's just really old. But I was thinking it was Bob Dylan, and Robin guessed Jerry Lee Lewis. Jenny guessed Mickey Rourke. And right before they sent him off the stage, he decided that it was way too hot for him to be in the costume, and he took off his mask. And it was Mickey Rourke, Barb's favorite Oscar-winning actor, Mickey Rourke.
I cannot stand him. I always thought he always gave me the creeps before his face got messed up, and he's just creepy, and I was kind of glad that he did, so we wouldn't be punished with him anymore. But
it was a weird moment. Obviously, I think Mickey Rourke was on there. He was definitely on something.
Yeah,
So,
he was on something.
Yeah,
I'm wondering, a lot of people are speculating what happened, like that he didn't want to go through with it, and they said, you have to, and so he decided, to get him out of it before the voting. He was just going to unmask himself after his performance.
but I still think he would have been voted off even if he
Oh yeah,
hadn't taken his
most
mask off.
likely.
Oh yeah, definitely. He was like the worst one.
Yeah.
And I was glad when he did it, because that means we don't have to be, like I said, be punished with him anymore. But he was just bad.
Yeah.
And some people think it was staged, but I don't know.
I mean,
just think
he's an Oscar-nominated, Oscar-winning actor. I mean, they probably had to cough up a lot for him to be on there, or maybe they negotiated for him. Maybe all he wanted to do was just be on there 1 week. So you never know. But anyway, Gremlin is out of the competition. He unmasked himself. Tomorrow night, we go back to Group A. Sun, Giraffe, Snow Owls, and Popcorn will perform again. At the end of the show, one or two of them, depending on whether or not Snow Owls get unmasked, will go. They're saying in the preview that it could be a shocking elimination, but I'm still going to go ahead and say that it's going to be Giraffe, because I think of the four, he's the weakest. But we could have a surprise. It could be Popcorn or Snow Owls.
I wish. I wonder what happened in Group C and why we're waiting on them, because I want to see them.
It could be because of the pandemic. Maybe they're sort of shooting them out of order that way, or maybe there was somebody in Group C that really wasn't ready to go on yet. There could be a lot of reasons why, but at least we're going back to Group A this week, and then I think Group B next week, and then I think we'll see Group C. I don't know right off, but next week, besides The Masked Singer, it's also an exciting week for us, because Jake and I will start talking about The Bachelorette, which premieres on next Tuesday night on ABC. We're going to try and get Barb to talk about it with us. I hope she does.
I control it. Me and a friend, we used to do that all the time. We would make fun out of the people on Twitter all the time.
Yeah.
And we actually had quite a few people following us that were doing it. But yeah, it's just, for me, there's no guy or female or whatever that is worth fighting 20 other people over.
Yeah.
I just don't get the appeal. And my mom used to watch it every day she always had that on. So when I moved here, I have not watched it since. So yeah, I'm thinking about doing it next Monday just to see.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So we'll talk about that next week. Also talk about Masked Singer. Plus, Jake and I, coming soon, we will be talking about last night's episode of Dancing with the Stars. So that is it for our show. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. In the description of the video, you can find all our social media pages. Go ahead and like or follow our pages. Until then, everybody have a good week, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.